Gandavatos, thanks again for tuning into yet another video. Infamous coming at you live from the West Coast yet again. Let's go ahead and get on with the topic of today's video. Just wanted to share with you guys what happened with the Progressive shop with Wrap, the external adjuster. I sent it back. Rezilla, they sent me I believe it was damaged goods. You know what? They sell open items. I just don't know. I don't know how if someone there must have misordered it or who knows what happened. But anyways, they sell open items or return goods. I'm not sure what they call it. They offer them at a discount, maybe 30 to 40% off. But I paid full price for this for this shock. I paid full price. It would have been a different story if I would have received it and I knew it was an open item. It would have been a different story. I think I would have just kept it. It's going underneath the seat. Who cares? Nobody's gonna see it. Forget it. I'm gonna install it. But you know, just the fact that I paid full price, and then some of the damaged parts on there, and then a lot of you guys were just saying, you know what, you paid full price for it, send it back. But so anyways, they sent me a label. I had agreed to the return. I was gonna pay the shipping. That was one of their policies, or that's one of their return policies. I don't know what happened. I mean, they haven't responded to me, they haven't contacted me or anything like that. But from what it appears, you know, like I said, I had agreed to pay the shipping on the return. It looks like I got my full refund, so a complete 100% refund on the product. Like I said, I had already accepted the fact that I was going to pay for the shipping, so I wasn't expecting a full refund, but I got all the money back. So kudos to them. Like I said, I don't know if they saw the video or if they know who I am or anything like that, who knows, but full refund. Funny story is, along with the label and the return, a UPS employee did not want to accept my package. They didn't want to accept the box.
Oh, you motherfuckers. Okay, all right.
The shock itself, it weighed over 15 pounds, the actual product. And the lady at the UPS, the employee, she had just mentioned, she just made this comment like, hey, did you make this label? I'm kind of like, what? I printed it. What about it? And she had told me, you know what, this label is only good for 1 pound. And she showed me the label, and I had told her, I was like, well, I don't know. I mean, this label was given to me. I just, like I said, I just printed it out, and it is what it is. And she pointed out that it's only good for 1 pound. The actual weight of the product or the box weighs in almost 16 pounds. That was 15.9 or something like that. So I had just told her, you know what, I don't know. I was given the label. I was instructed to drop it off. So here I am dropping it off with you. And then she made a comment about, well, I don't know if it's going to go. I don't know if it's going to stay. Who knows what's going to happen with it? And I'm kind of like, wait a minute, lady. This isn't a toaster. I told her, this isn't like, you know, it's not a toaster. It's not like, you know, like something that doesn't matter. Like I paid $1,000, you know, I paid a lot of money for this. So I don't know. It was just kind of like weird. It was just kind of funny. And so, yes, I mean, it turned out, I mean, I left it there. I was worried about it. I mean, if you're telling me that that this item might go or might not, it's up in the limbo. I mean, it's up in the air. Who knows what's gonna happen with it? Of course, I'm not gonna be at ease knowing that it's sitting over there. Because I mean, I had to drop it off and then I had to go back to work. So, anyways, I mean, after waiting for a phone call, because supposedly I was gonna get called for it. Because yeah, I mean, they might reject it. It's just something that you probably don't want to tell a customer that their product, something that's very, you know, pricey, high in dollar value, is up in the air. Who knows what's going to happen with it? It's just, I mean, it's just doesn't sit well for anybody. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys would agree with me. If you were to hear that, I wouldn't want to leave it there. So, but anyways, I left it there. And a couple days later, Rezilla has it back. I have my refund. It's all settled. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. The overall experience. I had mentioned, you know what, it's Rezilla. I pointed it out on the label. The lady has no idea what or who is Rezilla, of course. You know what, I'm getting way off the topic. Anyways, I just kind of wanted to share with you guys the reasons why I sent it back. And this might benefit some of you guys that are out there, you know, thinking about getting something for your bike, or just, you know, what options are out there. You have Legends, you have Olins, you have Fox, you have Progressive, You know, there's Two Brothers Racing, I think, or some Brothers Racing, one of those other ones. There's, you know, yeah, there's plenty of options. I think they're all pretty much do the same thing. I mean, you know, a couple adjustments and a few little things. You know what, I'm not a complete expert when it comes to suspension. There's YouTube channels out there that are 100% dedicated to just suspensions. You know, one of these channels was shared with me last year because I was thinking about, you know, upgrading to suspension. But I'm not an expert, but I think they're all pretty much do the same. They're all priced around the same, $600 to over $1,000. It just depends on what you need it for. And after looking at the shock, after, you know, unboxing it and looking at the instructions, I kind of came to realize, you know what, this shock's not really for me. It's especially after finding out that the external adjusting knob was not on the outside. I mean, if you own a Fat Bob, or if you own a Street Glide, or I'm sorry, a Sport Glide, then it does replace your current adjusting knob that's on the bottom of the right side of the side panel. I started thinking about, you know what, maybe I could probably pick a side panel up and do those sort of things, but then I would have to get parts, go to the dealership, and then that would add to my cost of this shock. So not only is it the shock pricey, then now you're looking at going to the dealership, you know, there's a shortage of parts, back order of parts, of goods. Now you're looking at, you know, waiting even longer. You know, some of the parts are back ordered for weeks and weeks and weeks. So I started kind of thinking about, you know what, man, if this is gonna be under my seat, I'm not gonna be messing with it. I'm not gonna be touching it. I'm just gonna set it and then just put the seat over it and then forget it. I'm not gonna be touching it. So that was one of the factors. I thought it was something along the lines of Öhlins and RWD. If you guys seen RWD, that gets mounted on your swing arm or on the bracket of your belt guard. And then the Öhlins, I believe that you could put that almost anywhere, but normally it goes on one of your side panels. A bolt, it replaces one of those, and then you could put it there. So I mean, if you're not a fan of that look, having those external knobs, then I guess, you know what, probably get away from these shocks. But anyways, talking about the aesthetic of the shock, yes, started thinking, you know what, I'm not gonna mess with it, and it's gonna be pretty much kind of like what I have with my stock shock. And you know, it's set and I don't even touch it because it's underneath the seat. So I mean, that was probably one of the reasons why I decided to send it back. I'm not gonna be able to have quick access to it and try different things. I don't want to be messing with the seat. I want to just leave it alone. And I started thinking about, you know what, my riding style doesn't really fit this external knob or this adjustment sort of a shock that I was looking for. It just doesn't fit with my riding style, mainly because I don't ride two up. I don't do canyon riding. I don't do a lot of those twisties, stuff like that. I usually commute. I go, you know, I just ride, I guess normally, you know, little highway, a lot of town, a lot of city. And I just didn't really see a benefit of having that external knob or having that quick access to kind of adjust my monoshock. So that was, you know, a part of the first reason. That was one of the reasons why I decided, you know what, I'm going to send it back and I'm going to get something a little bit more toned down, a little bit more my riding style, and something that wasn't too expensive. So that's one of the reasons why I switched over to a Fox, or not having that external adjusting knob. So that was one of the reasons. So if you're out there and you're kind of like my riding style, solo riding, not a lot of two up or maybe zero two up, kind of like me, then you know what, it's just, I don't really see the benefit of having that external knob for the monoshock. But anyways, getting on to the other reason why I sent it back, and that was just because of what happened. You know, the quality of the product, how it was damaged. You know, it had grease on it. Who knows what was wrong with it? There could be different things. It was just something that I just decided, you know what, I didn't want to risk installing it and then finding out that, you know, there was some kind of an issue, and Rezilla has a strict policy where if it looks like it was installed or if it looked like it was used in some sort of way, then you don't get your money back. So that was just money that I wasn't willing to risk. So then I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna send it back and get something that fits my riding style a little bit more, and it's a little bit more you know, less expensive. So this is why I went with the Fox 13-inch. And if you guys remember, I measured that shock, the progressive 13.1, and it measured in at 13.25. That's a little bit more than 13.1. I would say that's around 13.3 to be honest. So it wasn't really a 13.1 in my opinion. So I got this Fox shock. It's still sitting here because I haven't had the time to put it on. This Fox shock at 13 inches supposedly, I measured it and it's exactly 13 inches. So this shock is already a 1/4 inch shorter than the progressive one. Anyways, enough rambling. Those are the reasons why I sent it back. Like I said, I had progressive shocks before on my Sportster and I did like them, but maybe it's time to try something else. And looking at Fox, looking at the presentation, the quality, the attention of detail, everything, it seems like I'm gonna like this a little bit better. So those are just my reasons. Share your thoughts down below. Let me know what you guys think. Some of you guys are you know, thinking about upgrading suspension, and I mean, there's a lot of great options out there, and it just depends on your budget and your riding style. I mean, don't get something that looks cool or something that's gonna be cool or whatever. Think about your riding style. I mean, there's a lot of things out there that I think would look, you know, awesome on the bike, but it's about budget, and it's about, I guess, not wasting my money. You know what, there's a lot of nice stuff out there, and I don't want to be wasting my money. There's a lot of cool components, there's a lot of stuff that I want to get on the bike, but at the end of the day, before I think with my wallet, I guess, you have to think about other responsibilities and your priorities. So just looking at these parts and then thinking in my head, you know what, am I really going to use this? Is this really worth the extra $500 to kind of have this? Am I going to be riding, you know, is this going to fit my riding style? And the answer was just no. So a lot of the stuff that I put on my bike, I use it day in and day out, every day. Yeah, anyways, enough rambling. I'm done. You guys just stay out there, stay safe. Don't believe everything you read. Life's a risk. Get out there and ride. Later.